It's coming up. We're going to be going live. Oh, let's see this. Yep, Georgia on my mind. Okay, so I'm going to be reading. Nope, not from the book of Matthew. I'm going to see if I can do this. Oh, here. I'm going to share. I'm going to share what's going on in Georgia. This is from August 16. Well, of this year. And we're not, where are we now? We're at October 19. August, September, October. Okay, so this is 2 months ago, plus a few days. We have an article here from the Ohio Capital Journal. It's under Criminal Justice and Policing, Politics and Government by Stanley Dunlap and Jill Nolan. Who are these? Okay, so Stanley Dunlap has covered government and politics for news outlets in Georgia and Tennessee for the past decade. The Macon Telegraph. He told readers about Macon-Bibb County challenges. Implementing its recent consultation with a focus on ways he used open records because for him. And Jill Nolan has spent nearly 15 years reporting on state and local government in 4 states, focusing on policy and political stories and tracking public spending. She has spent the last 5 years chasing stories in the halls of Georgia's Gold Dome, earning recognition for her work showing the impact of rising opioid addiction in the state's rural communities. Okay. So here's here's a picture of see, in this very center is Fulton County. That's where Atlanta is mostly, or a heavy chunk of Atlanta population is in Fulton County, I would say. You'd have to look at a map. And district attorney, or DA for short, Fannie Willis. She's pictured in the center, surrounded by her associates, I guess. She's reporting on the indictments that she placed against former President Donald Trump and 18 others. That was on Monday, August 14. So she's a district attorney for Fulton County. So this is I guess this is a government court case, a state government, a state of Georgia, right? It's not a civil lawsuit. It's a judicial lawsuit, right? Government, right? So it says here former President Donald Trump and several members of his inner circle were indicted. Indicted Monday in Fulton County's sweeping investigation into the 2020 election interference. So the Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis held a press conference late Monday night to briefly discuss the grand jury's felony conspiracy and racketeering charges being levied against the 2024 Republican presidential frontrunner and other allies that included his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, his presidential attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and ex-Georgia Republican Party Chairman David Schaefer. So 19 people were indicted on 41 charges after the grand jury's vote to hand up indictments and Fulton Judge Robert McBurney's unsealing of the charges Monday evening. Okay. All elections in our nation are administered by the states, which are given the responsibility of ensuring a fair process and an accurate counting of the votes, Willis said Monday evening. That includes elections for presidential electors, Congress state officials, and local offices. The state's role in this process is essential to the functioning of our democracy. So the indictment alleges that rather than abide by Georgia's legal process for election challenges, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result, Willis said. It is the fourth time the former president has been indicted this year. And it is the second indictment directly tied to Trump's attempts to stay in power after losing his bid for re-election. So the defendants will have until noon on Friday, August 25th to turn themselves in, Willis said. So 14 to 25, about 10 days. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I think Donald Trump turned himself in the day before the last day. I guess it was the 24th. On a Thursday, he flew in to Georgia. I believe that was the day, and he got the mugshot seen around the world, and is selling like pancakes, hotcakes. Okay, so we could read the indictment here. See here if it goes there. See, okay. Oh, What happened? Mm, not going there. It's not working, that link. I remind everyone here that an indictment is only a series of allegations based on a uh, grand jury. Based on a grand jury determination of probable cause to support the charges. It is now the duty of my office to prove these charges in the indictment beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, Willis said. So Willis said she plans to push for a trial to be held within the next 6 months, but acknowledged that that will be up to the judge. Felony charges of false statements, forgery, racketeering, and election fraud, solicitation of a government employee have also been filed against in the case that's been more than a year in the making. Uh, the sweeping probe centers on Trump and a number of his supporters, who lodged unfounded claims that widespread election fraud cost him the 2020 election in Georgia by nearly 12,000 votes. In early 2020, in early 2022, Willis launched the investigation after a recording of a phone call where Trump asked Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes was released to the public. Willis, an Atlanta Democrat, there's a bias there, has been accused of political bias by Trump and his attorneys, who argue she has held fundraisers for candidates of her party in the past. And on Monday, Reuters reported that a document outlining charges against Trump appeared briefly on the Fulton County Court's website. A Fulton County Court spokesperson issued a statement Monday in response to a fictitious document that has been circulated online and reported by various media outlets. Trump's Georgia-based attorneys blasted the brief appearance of the document in a statement, calling it part of a pattern that has plagued this case from its very inception. Could they use archive.org to go back in time and find the document? This was not a simple administrative mistake, Drew Findling and Jennifer Little said in a joint statement. A proposed indictment should only be in the hands of the district attorney's office. Yet it somehow made its way to the clerk's office and was assigned a case number and a judge before the grand jury even deliberated. Trump also took to his social media site True Social to bemoan the indictment, calling Willis a rabid partisan and accusing her of timing the indictment to maximally interfere in next year's presidential race. Willis brushed off the criticism when asked about the president's comments. She said, I make decisions in this office based on the facts and the law. The law is completely nonpartisan. And then there's the group of 16 fake electors who met at the Georgia Capitol on December 2020. Includes current and former state and local GOP officials, ex-Coffee County GOP chairwoman Kathy Latham and newly elected state Senator Sean Still. I'm going to move this up to the top. Okay. Giuliani pressed Georgia Republicans to set themselves up as alternative electors to counter state Democrat electors casting votes for Joe Biden after GOP election officials confirmed the current president as the winner of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. The plan at first was for the fake electors to serve as a placeholder should the former president prevail in court challenges to Georgia's results. But when Trump's court challenges were all either dismissed or withdrawn, the alternate electors still signed paperwork swearing they were legitimate delegates. An eventful day. Even before the prospects of a Monday grand jury decision, a throng of national and local press had assembled outside the Fulton County Courthouse Monday morning, where they tried to catch the witnesses as they left to quiz them on the process. The relative calm outside the courthouse was disrupted at one point Monday when opponents of a controversial public safety training center attempted to march through the area around the courthouse that has been closed off for the indictments. Among the group's chants, Donald Trump, Andre Dickens, I don't know the fucking difference. Who's Andre Dickens? But inside the courthouse, the grand jury proceeding moved at a faster pace than expected. And by late Monday afternoon, an indictment seemed possible. At least two witnesses, former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan and Atlanta journalist George Sheedy, who were originally set to testify Tuesday, were moved up to Monday. Duncan, who did not seek re-election last year, brushed aside specific questions about his grand jury testimony Monday, but he spoke generally about how he viewed his participation in the process. And politically, he described this moment in time as a potential pivot point for Republicans. He said, I think it's important to tell the truth. Duncan told reporters afterwards, and to respond to the constitutional duties of answering the questions of the grand jury. It is important for us as a country to finally figure out exactly what happened and let Americans decide. Instead of misinformation and tweets, let America decide what's next for us. Other witnesses include State Senator Jen Jordan, and State Representative B. Nguyen, or Nguyen, or something like that. Nguyen. It's a Vietnamese name, last name, I believe. And then, so there's those two witnesses, State Senator Jen Jordan and State Representative B. Nguyen, and two Democrats who were part of the December 2020 legislative meetings where Rudy Giuliani pushed a false narrative in hopes of getting the General Assembly to intervene. Nguyen confirmed in a statement Monday that she had testified before the grand jury. And so Nguyen said, no individual is above the law, and I will continue to fully cooperate with any legal proceedings seeking the truth and protecting our democracy. I believe that every individual who wrongfully and illegally tried to overturn our valid elections should be held accountable so that we can have, as John Adams said, a government of laws and not of men. Chidi, who testified before the special purpose grand jury, said late Monday that he was dismissed without testifying Monday. He called it a victory for journalists. The independent Atlanta reporter walked into the fake electors meeting at the state capitol after noticing someone who would have likely served as a GOP elector had Trump won Georgia. He said he was intrigued when the person acted strangely towards him. So he started streaming on Facebook Live and followed the man into the meeting room before quickly being ushered out. When he asked what kind of meeting it was, a woman said they were having an education meeting. He said, plainly, they were not having an education meeting. So up until 5 minutes ago, the district attorney believed that that observation was relevant to these legal proceedings. Chidi told a group of reporters who swarmed around him as he left the courthouse. And perhaps it still is, but the jury may have enough information without me to make a decision. So it sounds like they needed what, 4 or 3 witnesses, or they got them to testify, or except the last one, Chidi didn't have to testify. They said they had enough. So but I'm not able to go to. Oh, so what was that phone call? Let's see if we can hear that phone call. In a recorded call, Trump pushed official to overturn Georgia vote. Wow, that was on January 3rd, 2021. That was 3 days before January 6th. There was a recorded call where Trump pushed the official to overturn the Georgia vote. And there's a picture of an angry President Trump on a Saturday phone call who's trying to push fellow Republican Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to overturn the state's presidential results. And Trump appeared to at least partly blame him for what could be lower turnout in Tuesday's runoff elections that will decide control of the U.S. Senate. So an angry President Trump pushed Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, fellow Republican, to overturn the state's presidential results and appeared to at least partly blame him for what could be lower turnout in Tuesday's runoff elections that will decide control of the U.S. Senate, according to a recording of a phone call obtained by Georgia Public Broadcasting. So Trump said in the call, the people of Georgia know that this was a scam. And because of what you've done to the president, a lot of people aren't going out to vote in the runoffs. Trump said in the remarkable Saturday call, a lot of Republicans are going to vote negative because they hate what you did to the president. He added, you would be respected if this thing could be straightened out before the election. Trump lost the state by nearly 12,000 votes to President-elect Joe Biden. More than 3 million Georgians have already voted in the two January 5 runoffs that pit incumbent Republican Senator David Perdue against Democrat Jon Ossoff and incumbent GOP Senator Kelly Loeffler against Democrat Raphael Warnock. So there was a runoff on January 5th. So on Sunday morning, Trump railed against Raffensperger on social media, retweeting baseless claims of election fraud and stating that Georgia's top election official was unwilling or unable to answer questions about alleged problems in the state. But the audio recording of the hour-long call details that Raffensperger and representatives of the Secretary of State's office continued to patiently knock down some of the more inflammatory claims made by Trump and other top Republicans who Hundreds of thousands of votes were illegally counted. Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong, Raffensperger said at one point. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right. Before Tuesday, advanced turnout has lagged in heavily Republican parts of the state. Trump suggested Raffensperger was responsible for the drop in GOP enthusiasm, while the Secretary of State has said the White House and state lawmakers spreading misinformation is to blame. On Sunday morning, Trump railed against Raffensperger on social media, retweeting baseless claims of election fraud and stating that Georgia's top election official was unwilling or unable to answer questions about alleged problems in the state. But the audio recordings of the hour-long call details that Raffensperger and representatives of the Secretary of State's office continued to patiently knock down some of the more inflammatory claims made by Trump and other Republicans who allege hundreds of thousands of votes were illegally counted. Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong, Raffensperger said at one point. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right. Mark Meadows, Trump's chief of staff, told Raffensperger he was hopeful that in a spirit of cooperation and compromise, there would be some way to find a path forward to overturn Georgia's certified election results that were confirmed both by a full hand audit and a machine recount. We don't agree that you have one, Raffensperger said. An attorney for the Secretary of State's office told the president on the call that state investigators, law enforcement, and the courts looked into claims of illegal votes and found no evidence of widespread fraud that would overturn Trump's narrow loss. But the president was undeterred. All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have because we won the state. Trump said at one point, flipping the state is a great testament to our country. It's a testament that they can admit to a mistake. A lot of people think it wasn't a mistake. It was much more criminal than that. But it's a big problem in Georgia, and it's not a problem that's going away. This story appears in the Georgia Recorder through a news partnership with Georgia Public Broadcasting. Is there is the can I play the recording? What's this go to? Oh look, there's a tweet that was tweeted in January 3rd, 3 days before January 6th, 2021. Well, Donald J. Trump, the at real Donald Trump says, I spoke to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger yesterday about Fulton County and voter fraud in Georgia. He was unwilling or unable to answer questions such as the ballots under table scam, ballot destruction, out of state voters, dead voters, and more. He has no clue. Um, let's see. Um, it says she followed. Oh. Mm, oh. See which email I have it with. Uh, uh, oh boy. I'm gonna have to put my email there. Oh, let's see. Let's go like this. Hmm. Maybe I have to go like this. Uh, copy that. Copy it, and then go to. Let's see. Go to. Where's my X? Here's X. Let's see. Um, let's see if I can find this. Hmm. See if I go like this and then go like this. Oops. Let's see if this works. Oh, I wonder if I go like this. Hmm. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, um, let's see. Real. Oh, there's a follow and mug shot. I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, oh. How, where's the? Okay. Anyway, yeah. How do I go to the tweets? Uh, days before that. Hmm. How do you find a particular tweet? Hmm. Anyway, oh, let's see. Go back to Zoom, maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to locate this tweet. Uh, let's see. So if I go to, let's see. Oh, what I could do is go to, let's put it here. Um, let's see what happens. We go like this. See if it'll open Twitter. Yeah, I did. It did. Oh no, but how do I make it open? Um, ver las interacciones, dejar, agregar, silenciar, bloquear, ver las interacciones. Let's see if I can open X. Oh man, how do I do this? Hmm. Shit, I don't know. Facebook. Facebook. Coercing an official to alter an election result is a crime, no? Maybe they can stop the election lies. Perfect phone call. Trump doing so waves any assertion that here's the tweet that forced Brad to release Trump tapes. This is the tweet that will be Trump's undoing. Oh Lord, there are tapes. You're going to prison. What does the man code say about lying about? Hmm. Tapes are out. You're a fucking traitor. That was tweeted on January 3rd. Mr. President, there are tapes. We listened to the tapes. Even Nixon was smarter than you. He is a traitor against you and our nation. Treat him accordingly. The Epoch Times, just before 9 a.m., President writes on Twitter. Mm, next time you plan to badger someone, then lie about it. Best make sure you're messing with someone stupid. This one didn't work out too well for you, Chief. You lost, dude, like 60 times. So pack your bonzer because you've been evicted. Hey, has Fannie Willis seen this one? Yes, she has. I spoke to Secretary. Actually, Donnie, what he said was that your information was wrong. We have all heard the tape. We all heard you asking him to change the vote tally. That's called election fraud. Wait a minute. He he didn't say to change the tally. He said to find the votes. So how you find the votes? Uh, we have a secret call with a top secret set that we. That's not real. You were caught on tape intimidating the secretary to manufacture 12,000 votes so you can steal the election you lost. Trying to fraudulently overturn the will of the people is criminal and indictable. It also shows your utter desperation and extreme fear of leaving the White House. Hmm. Hedging on saying this for a while, but I don't know. And it was your fine with Georgia defeating uh, um, even with the evidence recorded as audio and in the public domain, this clown still lives in the confines of his headspace. And what an empty space that is. Hmm. It's been about 2 years, and the federal government has completely ignored this. Hmm. Been about 2 years, almost 2 years from that time. Still can't figure out how to open this on Twitter. I got it open on the webpage twitter.com, but how do I open it in the app? Maybe it's over here. Bien, escritorio. Favorites historia. Just damn, I can't figure it out. It'll be that way. Let's see what that does. Can't figure it out. Assisted. Let's see. Delete. Exit the navigator. Now open in the agregat to see. Shit, I can't figure it out. Oh man, I can't figure it out. Drop. Share. I don't know how to do this. Let's see if I can do this. Can't believe I can. Let's see. Let's see. How to open a Twitter link on the app. On the app. Can't figure it out. To open Twitter links in the app, you can try the following methods. On Android, go to apps, select the app you want the links to open. Scroll and yeah. The app open links on links instead of browser. No, how to no open Twitter URL. Okay, here it is. Stack Overflow. Open Twitter. Okay, I've got the following URL. When clicked on iOS, it opens the browser. What's the best way to open this with the app? But it still opens in the browser. Let's see. You will use Chance. How can I open it here? You should, if it doesn't remove them, if it works if it doesn't remove mobile from the URL. Hmm, that's not. That's weird. Let's see if I can make it work. That's weird. Wow, what if I put mobile? Let's see if I go like this. Shit, it won't work. Oh, what if I go like, oh, I got it to work. Hmm. Shit. Una lista para poder añadir a alguien. How do I go like that? Wow. We heard the phone call. Wow. He tweeted January 3rd and someone tweeted right back that they've heard the phone call and they say you're a liar and bastard and will spend the rest of your life in prison. Well, let me show you all of my first. Will be on a 3-day return. Brian Fraser, I guess, is Randall Trump's. He says on January 6th, one of the largest peaceful protests in American history will take place in Washington, D.C., when as many as 1 million Americans will descend on our nation's capital to protest the theft of the 2020 presidential election. I can't figure out how to use Twitter. That is first when they are present evidence that works against that belief. Then you uncomfortable call communities and because it is so they will rationalize, ignore, and even deny anything that does not. Hmm. Damn. Mm-mm. What's this? Brian Fraser. No supporter. I work for my pillow. Damn. Oh wow. Hmm. Anyway, go back to Zoom. Zoom. I'm back in Zoom land. So I'll stop sharing. I was trying to figure out how to go from a link that in my browser it went to twitter.com, but I already have the Twitter app, which is now called X. So it sometimes shows x.com. And so I wanted it to open my Twitter app. And by accident, I finally got it to work. There is a little message saying, "Do you want to open it in the app?" So it switched me over from the browser to the app. But I wanted to see if there's a way to look at the link and maybe the last portion of it and copy it and paste it somewhere in the Twitter app. But I couldn't get that to work. I wouldn't find it. Well, there's something I can do on YouTube, but not on Twitter. Hmm. Okay, so I hope I hope somebody liked this.